morning, Big Lawrence Network. I'm in Kansas City right now, about to pick up my next load. I had dropped off a load in Nebraska, Grand Island, Nebraska. I dropped that load off yesterday, and the load I'm picking up, I needed a flatbed trailer, so I had to go drop that step deck trailer and pick up this flatbed to pick up this load that's gonna go down to Texas. It got 2 stops. You know, they offered me an oversized load. It was about 12, it was 12 feet wide. I turned that down. It was 12 feet wide. And a lot of times, if them oversized load is not paying, you know, over $4 a mile, it ain't even worth it. Because you gotta wait for the permits. And then, for example, the load was gonna be picking up, I believe, in Nebraska, and it was gonna shoot all the way down. It was going to Texas also. But with an oversized load, they're gonna send you the permits, and in some states, you know, let's say it's a 500-mile run, that might turn into a 600-mile or 700-mile run. So it just all depends with the oversized loads, and a lot of times it ain't worth it. So, you know, I took this load instead of the oversized load, but the oversized load was paying more, but the headache, when you factor in the headache and everything with the oversized load, it just ain't worth it. You know, I'd rather take this load that, you know, it probably paid $400, $500 less, but it's still over $2 a mile. You know, it's still a nice load, and I can just run straight through, you know, and it's 2 stops, and, you know, they're within 50 miles of each other. So it's really not that bad. So I went with this load, and, you know, they're going to put us in prime location down there in Texas. You know, because the name of the game is to try to get the Laredo, to try to get one of them preloaded trailers that's coming in from Mexico and, you know, shoot out and do it all over again. That's just the name of the game. Get the Laredo, shoot out in the country, work your way back to Laredo. So that's just the name of the game over here at Warren Transport. And, you know, I believe it's a good company, you know, given the climate of the economy right now. It's a good company. You know, you're able to make a good living. If you're able to save, especially during this time when a lot of people are losing their jobs. I mean, Giant Deere, we doing good, and the Giant Deere account has slowed all the way down. You know, we still able to do good. And keep in mind, it's a small company. Majority of the trucks is on the dry van side, and I believe they got 400 total, and majority of those are, you know, dry van. You know, so even though we slowed down with the Giant Deere, because a lot of those jobs slowed down because a lot of them went down to Mexico, but it's still a good thing because we getting those preloaded trailers that's coming from Mexico, and they dropping it on the Laredo yard. So yeah, to make a long story short, I went on with this load, and, you know, it's still a good load. Like I said, still paying over $2 a mile. You know, and they had about 3 loads they offered me that was oversized, that was coming out of Nebraska when I dropped off. And I'm telling you, dude, if they, like, a lot of times, and it really wasn't paying that much, but if they're not paying over $4 a mile, I'm not even dealing with it. You know, it's just not worth it. And then that was a 12-foot wide load. 12-foot wide load. I remember I had a load, I was coming out of Thibodeau, Louisiana, and that was 11 foot wide. It was 11 feet wide. That load I had coming out of Thibodeau, Louisiana, and I went on a back road, and literally it was 11 foot. I had to drive straight. If I would have went an inch on that side, I would hit the barricade. If I would have went an inch on a left-hand side, I would hit the barricade. You know, so a lot of those oversized loads, you know, the factor in the headache is just not, you know, it really don't equal out. You know, so a lot of times I don't even deal with it unless it's paying really good. You know, that's the only time I deal with an oversized load. You know, so I'm about to get loaded up. I'm in Kansas City, and we're gonna shoot down to Texas. If you're thinking about coming to Warren, I believe in Warren. Warren's a good company. Anthony almost got his truck paid off, and they looked out for Anthony. His truck he blew a steel tire for a month, and they kind of suspended his lease, and then they working with him to you know, get him a rental. So I think they doing everything they can to help the driver, you know, so and accommodate the driver. And if you're thinking about coming over at Warren, use my driver code 986-906. 986-906. Hit me up in the comments. If you got any questions or comments, I'm Big Lawrence and I'm out. One.